wanted to take a minute to go over another peripheral that'll be offered with the base set for On Deck Baseball. What we have here is a scheduling system for different teams. We're going to go over the Knights schedule, as well as a record tracker for each team that will be provided. Again, this is going to be the Knights. So what we have is the ability to play a 24-game season, a 48-game season, and a 72-game season. And the way that's going to work is the season will span 3 months of a schedule, and each month will have 24 games provided on a schedule for that month. So we'll see that the schedule will start in April. This is the Knights schedule. It's pretty easy to determine what team that Knights will be going up against and whether they'll be home or away. For their first series, starting on April 1st, they will be playing the Phantoms, and they will be the away team. The Phantoms will be the home team. Now, the first couple of series, I made sure that I had a day off in between. That is so everybody can kind of get used to how the pitcher's fatigue charts worked. Going into the next series, I wanted to make sure that it was a little bit easier following the pitcher fatigue rest. That way you don't have as much of a taxed bullpen. It does get a little bit more difficult as the season goes on. There are going to be a couple of series back to back, but it is a pretty fair amount of days off in between series as well. So I think it is definitely a good way to break everybody into the game. So this is April for the Knights. You'll see that the next month of May, it continues on. I did provide a 3-day break in the middle of a 72-game season, which will have an all-star game. That's up to you guys if you want to break up your teams into 2 subdivisions or 2 sub-leagues. That's completely up to you. As the game is being provided with the teams and with 1 league, I did not break up the teams into divisions or into sub-leagues. I'm leaving that up to you guys. But again, every single month is going to be provided with 24 games. So this will be a season of 48 games, which will be the first 2 months. And then we go on to June, which will be another 24 games, and that will bring the season to a conclusion at the end of June. So for the All-Star Game, again, it's up to you, but you could do it either in the middle of a 72-game season, towards the end of a 48-game season, or you can do it at the end of a 24-game season using just the 1 month. So each month has 24 games, which allows you to have a 24, 48, or 72-game season, depending on how comfortable you are with the game, how much in-depth you want to go with it, and how much you are willing to play the other games, getting up to that max. The record tracker that I have over here to the right is going to be provided for each team. You'll see that I have most of them printed out already, actually all of them printed out. And it's very self-explanatory. Basically, if your team wins, you just put an X on it. If your team loses, you put an X on it. And basically, that will tell you your record. And if you do that for each team, it will tell you your standings for the entire league. Very basic to use. The league that we currently have is a 100-game season. So this will work for a 100-game season. Theoretically, if your team goes 0-100, you could have a 200-game season if you go 500, 100, and 100 losses. But this is very compatible with up to 100 games. It will definitely work for the 24, 48, and 72-game season structures as well. So that is a little bit of the record tracker and the schedules. Again, these will be provided in the base set for On Deck Baseball. 6 teams will be provided, so 6 teams are incorporated into that season. I would like to say that it is interleague, but we don't have subdivisions created. But if you were to create subdivisions, it would be interleague play from the get-go and the start of the season through the end. All teams are represented in each month. So your first month, the Knights, for example, will play every single team in the league. And that goes on for April, May, and June. All right, so that is scheduling and record keeping for each team.